The Wolf Among Us is a neo-noir crime thriller that follows the exploits of one Bigby Wolf, who many of you may know as the Big Bad Wolf. This game was released in 2012 by Telltale Games, and today we will look to retell the events of the first game to better prepare ourselves for The Wolf Among Us 2, which is set to release this year, and honestly, I'll find any excuse I can to replay Telltale's best work. Our story begins with a seemingly tired Bigby Wolf riding in the back of a taxi sometime after midnight. His destination will soon be revealed to be the tenement building, which houses Mr. Toad and his son TJ. The reason for this visit is to take care of a noise complaint in the apartments filed by Mr. Toad. But upon entering, Wolf realizes that Toad is not wearing any glamour and reminds him about the rules. He urges Toad to resolve the matter quickly or he will be sent to the farm.
Mr. Toad? Oh, shit.
Bigby! Listen, mate, I know I don't look human. It's a problem, I get it. I just stepped out the apartment for just a second to see what kind of damage this drunk shit is doing. Just cut me a break, yeah? I'll get me glamour first thing in the morning.
Look, no harm done. I'll give you a pass, but listen. If you can't afford to look human, you're going to the farm. It's as simple as that.
You can't send me out to live with those animals. You know what I mean.
Go see a witch. Get a glamour.
Bigby, they're bleeding me dry, mate. The quality of the spout goes down, but the rates keep climbing up. Do you have any idea how much it costs to have an entire family in glamour?
Toad reminds Wolf that he called him about a dispute and directs him upstairs. As Bigby makes his way to the second floor of the building, he hears screaming and things being tossed around in one of the rooms. He decides to enter without warning and he finds the woodsman hitting an unknown woman. Bigby quickly intervenes and a fight ensues between the 200-year-old rivals.
Fucker! Alright, what's going on?
What are you gonna fucking do, huh? Get the fuck out of the way before you get the axe again.
Woody, I'm gonna break your fucking face.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, that's a fact.
You got a shit fucking memory, Wolf. That's not how it went last time.
This isn't last time. Now calm down. Had enough?
At least make this a fucking challenge. Go fuck yourself.
Back off, asshole.
Bigby Wolf gets the best out of the rage-filled woodsman, and with him out of commission, Sheriff Bigby heads over to speak to the woman to try to find out what the problem was. She assures Bigby that it was nothing other than a hurt ego, as the woodman asked the woman if she recognized him, and when she said no, he began to beat on her. The woodman hears this and gets angry once again. This leads to Bigby tackling him through the upstairs window, and they fall on top of Toad's car.
Come on.
With Bigby hurt, the woodman takes him by the legs and begins to choke the sheriff until we see a change in his eyes. Something is awakening inside of Bigby, but before it can come out, the mysterious woman puts an axe to the woodsman's skull, knocking him to the floor. The woman then proceeds to look through his pockets in search of her pay. However, the woodsman has no money and frustration takes over her, and she heads over for a smoke. Here, Bigby decides to question her a little bit more on who she works for. However, she replies by saying that her lips are sealed. Seeing the worried look in her eyes, the sheriff decides to give her all the money he has, which is $58. She's still $42 short, but she believes this will be enough to get her out of a tough situation. Still needing a statement on the incident, the woman agrees to meet with Sheriff Bigby at his apartment once she delivers the money to her employer.
You got me out of a bad situation back there. Thanks.
I'm still gonna need a statement.
I have to go drop off what I have.
Meet me back at my office then.
It's a little late for an office visit, Sheriff. I'll swing by your apartment.
How do you know where I...
You live in the smallest apartment in the Woodlands. Everyone knows that.
Good to know.
You should get cleaned up. You look like shit. And I don't use that term lightly. Some of these look pretty bad.
I clean up okay.
I'll believe it when I see it. Hey. I need to tell you something.
What is it?
You're not as bad as everyone says you are. I'll see you around, Wolf.
A little while later, we find Sheriff Bigby headed home. He lives in the Woodland Luxury Apartments, located in Fabletown. Most of the Fables live here. As he is walking in, he finds someone sneaking around, and it is revealed to be Beauty. He asks what she's up to. She nervously replies that she's out for a walk, but soon after she gives in and says that she has no time to explain. However, she asks the sheriff to keep their meeting between them and not to tell her husband, Beast. Weary of getting into marital affairs, Bigby heads inside, and right before heading upstairs, he runs into Beast, who asks Bigby if he's seen his wife. Bigby answers truthfully and says yes. Beast thanks him and heads over to find his wife. Finally, after a long night, Bigby heads into his apartment, the smallest room inside the Woodlands. As he settles in, he finds Colin sleeping on his only chair. Colin is one of the 3 little pigs that the big bad wolf tormented back in their homelands. Colin escapes the farm from time to stay with Bigby. However, the sheriff isn't a big fan of this, but he leaves him be for the most part. It could be guilt for past sins, or maybe he secretly enjoys the company.
Got a smoke? Thanks. Couple thousand more of these, we'll be even on that house you owe me.
This has gotta stop. You can't keep sneaking off the farm like this.
The fresh air and sunshine pitch they sell you on is bullshit. I didn't escape out of the homelands to end up in some prison, okay? You haven't been there.
Come on, that's a little dramatic.
That for me?
Nope.
The house didn't blow itself down, Bigby. That's all I'm saying. Do with that what you will. Now, I'm not saying it's reason enough for me to have definitely been offered a drink, but, it would have helped ease some of the pain you once caused me, yes? It also would have shown everyone how different you are now. Nice. I take it all back. This is why everyone hates you.
It is better to be feared than loved. You know who said that?
Yeah, some sad asshole. Eating alone. But, no, hate's the wrong word. They fear you more than anything. You ate a lot of people back in your day.
I thought we were all supposed to have a fresh start here. I can't change the past.
Well, you can't change people's memories either. Look, I'm not saying it's fair, but it's real. People are scared of you. I mean, look at your hands. Who'd you get in a fight with?
I was doing my job, believe it or not.
Your job is to beat the shit out of Fables?
Sometimes I take him to the farm.
Fuck you.
You think my job is easy? You try keeping a bunch of Fables from killing each other. How do you think this all works?
I don't know. How?
By being big and being bad.
By being big and being bad. Don't say that shit in front of people. It's embarrassing. That's the attitude that gets you in trouble. I'm sure you were shitty to everyone you came across tonight.
Not everyone.
Name one.
I don't actually know her name.
Awesome. Great example. Life is easier with friends, Bigby. And we live a long fucking time. I know you like this whole lone wolf thing you got going for yourself. But I've seen the way you look at Snow, okay? You're not fooling me.
Will you shut up?
Well, maybe if my throat wasn't so parched, I wouldn't have to keep talking.
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
Just give me a drink, please.
Colin, enough already. I haven't slept in 2 days. I went out a second-story window, and I want to get in 2 seconds of shut-eye before I... Look, if I give you this, will you let me sleep?
Yeah, all right. Probably. Thanks, Bigby.
Bigby falls asleep on the couch and is awakened by a loud banging at his door. He heads over to open it and is a distraught Snow White. She needs the sheriff's service immediately. They head downstairs to the entrance of the woodlands and find a decapitated head that has been left there for them to find. After removing the cover, it is revealed to be the young woman that the sheriff helped earlier in the evening. She has her ribbon inside her mouth with a ring attached to it. The ring has symbols that the sheriff believes can lead to finding out who she was. Snow White agrees and they head into the offices of the Woodland to do some research and inform the acting mayor, Ichabod Crane, what's going on, as King Cole is out of town and left Crane in charge during his absence. Crane becomes quite angry at what has occurred and demands answers as soon as possible from both Snow and the sheriff.
You are the one bringing this to me, Miss Snow. The one who so simply stumbled upon this catastrophe on our very doorstep. The last thing I need with Mayor Cole away is a hysteria. Do you understand me?
Yes, of course I do.
Don't interrupt me, Miss Snow.
You asked me a question.
Don't change the subject. You are to blame for this unpleasantness, Miss Snow.
I brought you this news as soon as I could.
You are trusted to keep things running smoothly around here. This is a disaster.
If anyone's to blame, it's me. You don't need to be yelling at her.
Oh, your role in this is duly noted. Yes, let's talk about that. Sheriff, you are the one charged with protecting the citizens of Fabletown. Your failure to do so cost someone their life and the safety of the entire community. Tell me you've been doing something. Are there any leads? Suspects? Anything. Anything at all. Because right now, I have half a mind to fire the both of you.
Yeah, her pimp.
Was she a...
Yeah. She was worried about a money situation.
Well, this is just wonderful. Not only is a Fable killed, but it was a Fable hooker to boot. You two need to get a handle on this situation quickly and quietly. The last thing we need is all of Fabletown knowing there's a killer amongst us. Snow.
Yes? Sir?
Call Vivian right this minute and let her know I'm coming in early for my massage.
I will.
Where is the bottle of wine you were to purchase? Oh, bother. Forget it. Can't do anything right. Do your job, Sheriff.
As Crane leaves, Snow calls over Buffkin, the woodland librarian, to find books on their hometown and look for the symbols found from the woman's ring. After they find the books, they find out that the woman's name is Donkey Skin, but she prefers to go by Faith.
Donkey Skin Girl, also known as Donkey Skin, also known as Ass Skin, prefers to go by the name Faith. Poetic?
Buffkin, we don't need the commentary.
The story of Donkey Skin. There was once a great king with a beautiful queen. The queen grew ill and had her husband promise to only marry the most beautiful girl in the kingdom. After a long search, it became clear that the only woman in the land that could match her beauty was... his daughter, Faith. She had a magic cloak made from the skin of her father's prized donkey that would hide her beauty so she could escape his kingdom. Eventually, she married a prince who could see past the magic cloak and knew her true beauty. And they lived happily ever after.
They soon find out that Faith has a husband, Prince Lawrence. They need to head over there to find out what he knows and rule him out for the death of his wife. Bigby uses the magic mirror to find out the location of the prince, but finds a bloody knife next to him. This worries the sheriff as he may be in immediate danger and needs help. But before he is able to leave, he receives a call from Toad, who lets the sheriff know that somebody is snooping around the woodsman's room. This leads to Bigby wondering if it could be the woodsman trying to take any evidence. Bigby Wolf decides to head over to the tenement's building first and try to catch whoever is going through the woodsman's things. When Bigby and Snow get there, they see somebody in the woodsman's building. Bigby heads upstairs, but the person is gone, and Bigby makes his way back downstairs. He hears TJ crying, which is Toad's son. They head inside to question Toad on what he saw, but Toad acts like nothing happened. The sheriff can tell that he's hiding something. The sheriff decides to investigate the room, and he later finds out that one of the TWAU brothers attacked Toad in his home. He was there looking for something, and after his search turned up nothing, he threatened Toad that if he told anyone what happened, he would come back and kill TJ. After this, Toad gives the sheriff and Snow White Faith's coat, and here we find out that Toad borrows things from people that visit the tenement building. Bigby finds a letter addressed to Prince Lawrence that reads, "I'm sorry," from Faith. With this, they decide to head over to Prince Lawrence's house to let him know the news and question him. A little while later, they arrive at the residence of Faith and they find Prince Lawrence on the floor, in a pool of his own blood. They try to question him, but he slowly dies. They are too late. Bigby decides to investigate the room, and as he heads over to open the closet, one of the TWAU brothers bursts out, and a chase ensues.
Stay here!
No!
Hey! Stop! Leave me alone! Hey!
Ease up, Bigby. We're on the same side here.
You son of a bitch. Make me run after you. Who are you?
What?
Who are you?
Listen, man. I'm a private investigator.
A man's dead.
I know how it looks, but I had nothing to do with that.
Bullshit. You're covered in blood.
Look, I was just asking him about the girl, that's all. When I mentioned her being dead, he freaked out. I figured someone had told him. How was I supposed to know? Shit. Fucker shot himself right in front of me. I couldn't stop him, man. You're looking for the woodsman, right? I know where he is. My guy says he's holed up at the Trip Trap. We can go over there right now, the both of us. My employer's looking to ask him a few questions, too. The fuck?
Come on.
Dumb.
Dumb?
Yeah, it is. Look, it'd be much easier for you
No, I'm D. He's dumb.
You almost looked peaceful.
After Bigby regains consciousness, he and Snow head over to the Trip Trap, a bar where they think they'll find the woodsman, and they can ask him what he knows about Faith's death. But before that, Bigby and Snow have a candid conversation in the cab.
Every time I think I'm getting a handle on what's going on, things just get more complicated. It feels like we're always a step behind.
The woodsman is the only lead we've got, and he was one of the last people to see Faith alive. Getting some answers out of him will start to clear things up.
I hope you're right. Bigby? Be honest with me. Who do you think did this? I know it's still early, but I just feel a step behind. It's an uncomfortable feeling.
Faith was in trouble, afraid of someone. I need to find out who. Might be whoever she was working for. There's still a lot of questions. We find the woodsman, figure out what he knows, and go from there.
Makes sense. That's probably the best approach.
Thanks
I
for
wish
you.
there was... Sorry.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's nothing. I just... Seeing all this today, there are fables that are struggling worse than I'd imagined. We pay so much attention to the residents of the woodlands. You forget there's a whole community out there to serve. To have to turn to prostitution. I wish there was more we could do. This isn't how I thought it would be. But Crane runs things his own way.
Then you should do something about it. You are in a position to make a difference.
Obviously, you don't know what I do all day. Right now, I'm the gatekeeper, making sure none of these disenfranchised folks are, as he puts it, wasting his time.
If you really want to help, you'll figure out a way.
I don't know. It's just a broken system. The fables who walk in through the back door like Bluebeard, we have all the time in the world for them. You try and come in through the front door, through the proper channels, asking for anything, needing help. Well, I turn you away. Now things are worse off than they've ever been.
Well, that's not true.
Right. We've had it worse, but not by much. Maybe this isn't for me. I thought public service was pure. A way to help.
You should stick it out. There are fables that would give up a lot to be in the position you're in, and I think it's easier to change something from the inside.
You're telling me change comes from within.
Sure.
Not the advice I imagined hearing from you.
I'm full of surprises.
Maybe you should handle this one.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Bigby. Just be careful, please.
The same goes for you.
I will.
After arriving, Bigby enters the trip trap, but it's a hostile welcoming. The bartender, Holly, doesn't want anything to do with him, and neither does Grendel, one of her regulars. Bigby becomes suspicious of them and asks about the whereabouts for the woodsman. They deny knowing him.
You gonna order something? Or you just here to bother my customers? You know what I mean.
Give me a Midas Gold.
You want a lime?
Sure.
I think they have some at the bar down the street.
Think that's funny? Yep.
think it's fucking hilarious.
It was all right. Come on, guys. I don't want to be here. You don't want me here. The sooner you answer my questions, the sooner I'll be out of your...
But a while later, the woodman comes out of one of the bathrooms, and Bigby heads over to conversate with him. The woodsman swears he knows nothing about what happened to Faith, but the conversation is cut short when Grando decides he wants to fight the big bad wolf. The sheriff tries to de-escalate the situation, but it does not work, and a fight ensues.
Holly's sister goes missing. No one gives two shits about her. Paperwork, waiting rooms, and that bitch Snow White looking right past me, then ushering me out the fucking door.
Anyone tell you you've got a big fucking mouth?
Oh, it gets bigger.
Oh, good.
Should have walked out of here when you had the chance.
Come on, you're scaring the lady.
Don't worry about me.
He's had enough.
Whiskey. Double.
After their fight, Tweedledee comes in, but he tries to immediately run when he sees Bigby Wolf. And with yet another choice on his hands, Bigby must go after Tweedledee or the Woodsman. He chases after Tweedledee.
Fuck, man! That's not necessary!
Shit.
He's the one you want, not me!
Your brother won't be saving you this time. Come on. You're under arrest.
I told you I didn't do it!
And you got nothing to worry about.
The sheriff arrests Tweedledee and they make their way to the luxury apartment buildings. However, upon arriving, Bigby notices a huge police presence and he heads over to investigate. We cut to the next morning and we find the sheriff inside a police station. He is being questioned by one of the detectives there. Bigby is still in shock over what he saw, and quite frankly, he is very pissed off.
How are you feeling? I know it's been a long night for you. You look like you could use some rest.
I'm feeling pretty fucking pissed off right now, if I'm honest. I'd like to smash everything in this room.
Is that a threat?
Depends on how much you like the furniture.
I didn't think that was funny, in case you were waiting for me to laugh.
He notices that the detective's nose is bleeding and she suddenly passes out. Everyone inside of the police station faints. Bigby is confused, but we see Crane arrive with a box of evidence. He informs Bigby that he used a magic spell to make the police station forget everything that they saw in the last 24 hours. They both head out and an awkward conversation follows.
I know what you're thinking, Bigby. It's been one full night and a slice of morning, and I already miss her too. You know, I never get more homesick than when one of us dies, and now, for it to be Snow, I've never been good with these sorts of things. I just can't believe this is really happening. Our stories used to be so simple. We had a beginning, a middle, and an end. But ever since we moved to this awful city, everything's gotten so confused. Did she, give any indication to what she was thinking? When you saw her last, I mean. I don't know why, but I'd like to know that she was, I guess, fine, I suppose. I just want to make sure that she wasn't going looking for trouble, that's all. I don't know what else to say, Bigby. We have to put an end to this. It's been 2 murders in as many days. If we don't unearth our culprit, and soon, there will likely be another on our doorstep tonight.
I'll get it done.
Please, Bigby, for Miss White.
I got it.
As they head back to the woodlands, Crane seems to be very upset about Snow's death, and Bigby doesn't seem to care about his feelings. When they arrive to the woodlands, they head down to what looks like a boiler room. Bluebeard has Tweedledee tied up and is questioning him. Bigby takes over the interrogation and after a little bit of persuasion gets him to talk a little bit, and he reveals that Faith stole something from his boss. However, after this, he refuses to talk anymore, and an angry Bluebeard jumps in and he thinks that Bigby is being too soft on the suspect. This angers the sheriff and they begin to fight, but they immediately stop when they see Snow White walk in.
Snow!
What's going on down here?
Snow.
She isn't dead after all. Snow and Bigby head upstairs, and Snow here explains that she was called over to Toad's house because TJ found a body while swimming in the river. She went to find the body and she brought it over to the woodlands to investigate it. Now Bigby has to question TJ on what he saw.
I told you, I'm tired of sitting around. I'm not going to be an errand girl for Crane anymore.
I just want you to be careful. I almost lost you once.
I'm not yours to lose. I'm sorry. I know it's dangerous, but I'm not helpless. I can take care of myself. I've been doing it for centuries. TJ is waiting inside. He was so freaked out last night, he wouldn't tell us much. Even now, he just stops talking altogether after a certain point.
I go swimming at night sometimes, in the river. I wasn't doing anything bad. I promise. I was there, under the big blocks, and I heard noisy feet. And when I hear that, I'm supposed to go underwater and stay real still and quiet. The lady fell in, but she didn't have her head on. I thought she was gonna pull me down too. Cause she had rocks on her feet and she kept falling down in the dark parts. They said, stop laughing at me.
Thank you, TJ.
After this, Snow takes Bigby downstairs to the basement of the Woodlands where she shows him the body that they found. The body looks almost identical to Snow White. Someone used cheap glamour to make it look like Snow. The sheriff begins to investigate the body for any clues on its killer, and a few moments later, Crane comes down. Bigby finds a wooden case that contains a photo of Snow and a piece of her hair. As they are investigating the body, the glamour wears off of the person who is wearing it, and it is revealed to be a troll. It's Lily, the sister of the bartender at the Trip Trap, where the sheriff had an altercation the night before. With this, Snow and the sheriff head over to the bar to give Holly the news and ask her any questions that could lead to the killer. Once they arrive, Bigby receives a cold welcome, and Loudmouth Jack from Jack and the Beanstalk is there. Bigby quickly becomes annoyed by his presence and kicks him out. After this, the sheriff informs Holly that the body found in the river is Lily, her sister. She becomes angry and wants to kick them out, but Snow apologizes and gives her something that they found on Lily. It looks like it was something from the homelands. This calms Holly down a little, and she becomes cooperative with them. She tells the sheriff that Lily was working for Georgie, who owns the Pudding and Pie, a strip club and a whorehouse, where he takes advantage of the girls working for him. Snow takes Holly back to the Woodlands to see if she can take her sister's body with her for a funeral, and Bigby heads to the Pudding and Pie to talk to Georgie. Once he arrives, Bigby is walked inside and warned that Georgie doesn't like to be bothered. Upon meeting Georgie, the sheriff gets a good idea about him. Georgie is nasty and doesn't care much for those in his care.
Okay, alright, Sheriff. Just fucking with you. Look, I know why you're here.
Are you sure?
Listen, Sheriff. Around here, we can't afford to wait for you and your swanky pals to take an interest. We have to look out for each other. When shit happens, I hear about it, especially if it concerns my livelihood.
In that case, I assume you knew Lily was glamored.
Of course she was, you daft git. She was a troll.
No, I mean glamored to look like another fable.
Yeah? Well, so what? Who gives a toss? People get up to all kinds of things when nobody's watching.
I think you're behind this. You got her a black market glamour as part of some twisted sex fantasy.
Ooh, black market is it? How exciting. This is exactly what I would expect from a thug like you. Storm in, throw around a bunch of accusations, try to scare people. But you've got fuck all to back it up.
Nothing to back it up? Well, what the fuck is this then?
Get that out of my face.
I found it on Lily's body, and it's definitely a back alley job. Where did she get it?
You've got this all wrong. If Lily was doing a special glamour, it wasn't for me. For fuck's sake, I want that kind of eat.
Who was she doing it for, then?
She had clients, Bigby. Maybe one of them was into it. A lot of fucked up people in Fabletown.
Like who?
Try looking in the mirror. Anyway, now what to do with me?
We're not done here.
I think we are.
I said we're not.
You're gonna hit me? Go ahead. Oh no, fuck!
Bigby tries to question him, but he deflects a lot. Bigby begins to trash the place in search of a book that could contain evidence of where Lily was on the night that she was murdered.
Sure, go ahead. Do what comes naturally.
Oh no! You unbelievable prick!
Hey, now. Jesus, fuck!
There's still time for you to just cough it up.
I'm sorry, Sheriff, but there's no handy magic book with everything you want to know jotted down inside. I sincerely wish there was. Maybe it would get you off me back.
Well, what's this? Looks like a floor safe.
I wouldn't know. It was here when we moved in. I don't have a key to it. Sheriff, will you come on? Fuck's sake, I've got to open up in a few hours. Oh, for fuck's sake. Come on, Nate. Leave it. There's nothing there for you. This is a dance club. What the hell am I supposed to do tonight while the girls are on stage? Harmonica, kazoo, whistle a happy tune? Fucking unbelievable. Bloody come on, then. Fucking trash my business over this bullshit. Protector of Fabletown, my ass. What a load of crap.
He finally finds it. The book contains the name Lily and a room number, 207, and a Mr. Smith. Bigby then goes inside one of the back rooms to talk to a young woman working at the strip club, as she may know more information and what the information inside of the book means. After talking to the woman, we come to find out that her name is Nerissa, and she used to be known as the Little Mermaid. However, when asked about the book, she says, "My lips are sealed." Here, Bigby begins to notice a pattern. However, finally the sheriff is able to receive a location.
Who's Mr. Smith? Where's room 207? I have to know.
These lips. Sheriff Wolf, would you like to make an appointment with me?
Okay. What would I need to do?
I need 150. It's not good to be short. Wait here for a second.
Not 207?
You'll think of something.
The Open Arms Hotel, which is conveniently located next to the Pudding and Pie. He heads over there and he finds Beauty working as the receptionist for the hotel. This was her big secret. After trying to explain herself, Bigby informs her that he's there on business. They head upstairs together and Beauty begins to unlock room number 207. But before she does, Beast, her husband, comes up behind them.
Beauty!
Ah, shit.
Beast?
Bigby? How could you do this to me?
No, sweetie, no. Wait a minute.
How could you do this? We've been together through everything. I took care of you. I love...
It's not what you think. Please.
You're cheating on me! With him?
No, Beast. I promise I'm not. I'm helping him. That's all.
I'll bet! I'm sure you help each other just great!
This is a murder investigation. She's helping me...
Stop lying to me! What the fuck is wrong with you? She's my wife!
Beast, listen to me. There's nothing going on. I'm not...
Hey!
Bastard! I guess I finally see you for who you are!
Stop! Stop it!
You said you saw her that night. I should have fucking known.
Listen to your wife. Just calm down and...
Beast! What the hell do you think you're doing? You aren't even listening to me!
She's my wife, Bigby!
I told you! Stop! Leave him be! This is my fault! Beast, no! I understand!
ruined everything! She's my...
After they enter the room, they find a bloody bed and evidence left behind. Bigby begins to investigate and put the clues together. He realizes that someone is hiring hookers to dress as Snow and roleplay her fairy tale. He finds an envelope under the bed with pictures of Snow, Bigby, and then one picture with the so-called Mr. Smith. It is Crane and he is touching a sleeping Snow. Crane, however, was already suspicious that he would get found out, so he has been spying on Bigby through the magic mirror, and after the sheriff finds the evidence, Crane smashes the mirror. We cut to a very angry Bigby who is on his way to find Snow, as he believes she needs to know what is going on, while also being concerned for her safety. Before he leaves the Open Arms Hotel, Beast tells Bigby that Snow will be at Lily's funeral, as he overheard talking while he was drinking at the Trip Trap.
Bigby! Wait.
What?
Snow's been through a lot. There are things she doesn't talk about. Just, please be careful.
What are you trying to say?
You know how you felt when you saw that picture? Well, it's going to be much worse for her. Just remember that.
Bigby heads over to the funeral and he realizes that his presence may be a distraction, so he quietly stays in the back until Snow finishes giving a speech. Once she's done, she heads over to Bigby and he informs her on his findings. Snow is shocked and disturbed at the news of what Crane has been doing in his spare time. Before they can continue, Snow is called away to finish up the funeral for Lily. Holly, however, comes and warns Bigby about doing anything reckless that will ruin her sister's final goodbye. Moments later, while still at the funeral, Tweedledee and Tweedledum approach Bigby and put a shotgun on his back, and they try to warn him. They try to threaten him. They want him to stop following Crane as they have a mutual interest in him. Bigby, thinking about Holly's warning, doesn't want to stir up trouble, but to no avail. Soon after this, a fight breaks out and Holly, Grant, and Bigby are injured with gunshot wounds. The Tweedles run off and the funeral is ruined. A few hours later, we find Bigby being stitched up by a Fabletown doctor, accompanied by Snow White. The doctor informs Bigby that he needs to take it easy for the next couple of days, and he should not aggravate his wounds. Bigby is reluctant to do this, as he feels that in his line of work, taking it easy isn't possible. After the doctor leaves, Bigby and Snow begin to look for clues on Crane's whereabouts. This process will take longer than expected, as Buffkin couldn't put the mirror back together due to Crane taking a piece of it with him. However, Buffkin informs the sheriff that Crane mentioned something about a witch. This gives them a clue to follow. Later, Buffkin remembers that Crane set a meeting with this mystery witch for 2 a.m. Suddenly, Bluebeard comes in shouting for answers on the whereabouts of Crane. Snow informs him that he isn't part of the investigation and he has no right to know the details. Bluebeard, however, doesn't care about this and he decides that he will investigate for himself. So far, they know that there's a witch and a meeting, but still no address. Snow and Bigby agree that either the Tweedle's office contains an address or name for this witch, or Lily's things do, which are currently with Holly at the Trip Trap. Bigby decides that he'll head to both places, with the Tweedle's office being the first location he goes to. Bluebeard, in the meantime, will head into Crane's room to see if he can find anything on this witch. A little while later, we see Bigby arrive at the Tweedle's office. He finds Flycatcher there working. Flycatcher was let go by Crane some time ago. Bigby asks Flycatcher about the Tweedles and he points him into their office. Bigby begins to look through the Tweedle's things, and then Bigby finds a folder with different people, including Cinderella, Faith, and one on Crane. He finds out that Crane owes the Crooked Man money. The Crooked Man is a name that Bigby has heard rumblings about. However, during his search, the sheriff gets frustrated with Flycatcher and he begins to bleed. Flycatcher informs the sheriff that there's a secret door behind a bookshelf. They open the door and head down to the basement. Here, the Tweedles do the real work. They find payments from Crane and things addressed to a person that goes by the Butcher. Also a case with the name The Lucky Pawn on it. Then Bigby finds a strand of Snow White's hair, addressed to Auntie Greenleaf. This may be the witch that they are looking for. Bigby calls Snow White and informs her that he is going to the Trip Trap now to find an address. And before leaving, Flycatcher stops the sheriff and asks him if he can get his job back at the Woodlands. Bigby now returns to the Trip Trap where he finds Grant and the woodsman drinking. Bigby is looking for Holly. Grant is high due to the medicine that he received, and he gets into it with the woodsman. Here, the sheriff finds out that the woodsman used to pay Holly's sister, Lily, for sex. An angry woodsman leaves the Trip Trap, and Bigby finds Holly in the back room. She's in and out of sleep. While going through Lily's things, Holly asks why the sheriff is really doing all of this. Why does he care so much about finding the people behind the murders? Bigby responds that he is doing it for Faith. Holly appreciates the honesty and falls asleep. Bigby finds Lily's address book and it contains an address for Auntie Greenleaf. He calls Snow and they plan to meet at the apartment complex where Greenleaf is located. When Snow and Bigby arrive at the location, it is past 2 a.m. They are late for the presumed meeting between Crane and Greenleaf. Bigby and Snow are greeted at the door by a small child named Rachel. She says that she's alone, but Bigby isn't too sure. They go inside the house to look for clues, and Rachel gets worried, saying that she'll get in big trouble if her mother finds out that she let somebody in. Once again, Bigby doesn't seem to care much about that. Bigby finds a closet with a box inside of it addressed to the butcher. And they find the big tree where Auntie Greenleaf is making illegal glamours. Right before they head out, Bigby finds a glamour tube. Rachel really begins to panic here, and Bigby decides to break it. Rachel transforms into an old lady that looks exactly like Auntie Greenleaf. The witch had disguised herself as a child. Here, Bigby loses his cool and begins to question the witch on the whereabouts of Crane.
You picked the wrong night to lie to me. More lying, no more ring around the rosy, no more bullshit non sequiturs. You're done. It's over. You're gonna tell me what I want to know right now.
She is dismissive against the sheriff's authority, and then Snow White gets angry and tells Greenleaf that due to her illegal use of glamours and uncooperative nature, she will be burning down her tree. She orders Bigby to do so, and Auntie Greenleaf finally reacts. She tells them where Crane went and begs Bigby to not destroy her only way of making money. However, it is now too late for any of that.
I'm begging you.
Orders are orders.
Doomed me. Do you know that? I told you everything, and then you extinguished the only measure I have in this horrid world. What monsters are you? What horrible, evil, villainous, warped monsters are you? I have nothing! Nothing! You took everything from me! I have nothing!
Bigby and Snow show up at the Pudding and Pie. They find Crane's car parked outside. They rush inside, and Georgie is standing in their way.
Oh, do you miss the spot? Mr. Clean, come to smash up the rest of my place. Oh, I see. Come to audition, you bitch. Oh, fucking fuck, man!
The sheriff punches him, and they head to the back of the room, where they find Crane shaking Nerissa. Bigby pulls Crane away. Crane begins to explain himself. He says that he was set up. Seeing the way Crane skirmishes and acts so cowardly, Snow believes him, and the sheriff agrees. He knows that something much bigger than Crane is going on. However, Crane will still be arrested for this. The sheriff begins to escort him out of the Pudding and Pie. As they are leaving, a car traps them inside of a street. They go around to the other street, and another 2 cars appear. The Tweedles come out of the car with a mysterious woman next to them.
Hi. What you got there? Look, it's recently come under our attention that you're, how shall I put this, attempting to claim what is the personal property of the Crooked Man. He's about yay high, 120 odd pounds, kissed his sheets until he was 14. Sound familiar?
I haven't told him anything.
Not now. Shh. The grown-ups are talking.
If I were you, I'd get out of the way.
No. That's not how this works. How this works is you are going to walk Crane over here, like a good doggy.
It wasn't my fault.
Shut up. You're interfering with official Fabletown business. Step aside.
Tweedledee. What's the, that thing the Mundies call me?
What?
My nickname. You know what I'm talking about.
Bloody
Mary. That's it. Thank you. And do you know why they call me that? Because some of them, they think it's funny to have their little sleepovers and go into their little bathrooms and say my name 5 times in the mirror. They find it less funny when I actually show up and feed their lungs to the family dog. And I do that for a hobby. Like golf, to relax.
You can fuck off if you think you're getting him.
I told you he'd never just give him up.
Fuck it.
Bigby?
Show, but you know, it just didn't know when to end. You know, you wouldn't think silver bullets would work on anything but a pure werewolf, but as it turns out, it's just not the case. Right, Wolfie? I mean, hey, look, I know it sounds ridiculous, but really, guys, can you argue with these results? Because I know I can't.
Wait! Stop! Just take him, okay? Take Crane. Just stop, please.
Yeah, I don't know.
Snow, don't do this.
It's your lucky day, kid. The Crooked Man says it's okay with him. Hello, Ichabod. Got a stomachache? Oh, and just between us girls, Crane ain't no killer. I mean, look at his face. Couldn't stick a pig if his life depended. Nope, not like your boyfriend here. Well, this is gonna be a beautiful relationship we have with you guys. Really, I mean it. I'm jazzed about it. Out with the old, in with the new. Long live the Queen. I'm sure we'll be in touch. See you around.
We cut to the next morning and we find a wounded Bigby being stitched up by the Fabletown doctor once again, this time inside of his apartment. We see Colin and Snow White. They are both there to keep an eye on the sheriff. The doctor warns Bigby that another silver bullet would kill him and that he needs to be truly careful. He asks Snow to talk some sense into him. After the doctor finishes, he leaves, and Snow and the sheriff finally share a small moment together.
So, how do you, feel?
How do you think I feel? Like shit.
You should see how you look.
I'm glad you're not dead. You stopped breathing, you know, when you passed out or died, I guess. It kind of scared the hell out of me. I've never seen you like that. And when Swinehart arrived...
Snow, I'd never leave you.
Yeah, you were really fucked up, man. You look like when you take an action figure and bend its limbs the wrong way.
Colin?
I'm just saying, I was worried about him is all.
After the interruption, Snow warns Bigby about letting his bad side come out and wants to avoid what happened with Tweedledum again. She says that the only way to change Fabletown for the better is to follow the rules that they've set, no exceptions. This means fables without glamours need to go to the farm, and Bigby cannot take matters into his own hands. Colin gets angry as he does not want to go to the farm, but Snow is not hearing any of it. She says that she's leaving to change, but before she does, a phone call comes in and she picks it up. She lets the sheriff know that Nerissa is in his office looking to talk. The sheriff and Snow go their separate ways, and Bigby heads to his office. He finds Nerissa waiting for him. She says that she wants to help, but she can't really speak. Bigby realizes through this conversation that the magic keeping them from talking is inside of the ribbon, and the ribbon cannot be removed or they die, like Faith and Lily had. Snow White then comes into the office and finds Nerissa being comforted by Bigby, which seemed to bother her a little bit. Nerissa runs out and Snow informs the sheriff Beauty and Beast have called and want to see him in the room upstairs. Bigby informs Snow about the ribbon and she tells him that Beauty asked for financial assistance a little while back, but she could not help. Snow believes that maybe this led Beauty to the Crooked Man. Bigby heads to the room and an angry Beauty greets him. She informs the sheriff that she did not want to talk to him and that he is only there because Beast insisted. He heads inside and begins to look around. Although Beauty and Beast are in debt, they live very well off. Their apartment is filled with expensive things, and Bigby questions them on this. Beast replies that he wants to give Beauty the life that she deserves, that they struggled for money a while back, and with no way out, they went to the Crooked Man. Now they are receiving threats from the Crooked Man's people. Beauty tells the sheriff that she went to the Lucky Pond to receive a loan from Jersey, the owner there. She says that the Crooked Man is behind that place and that other fables go there as well. Before Bigby heads out, Beast stops him and tells him that he's also been making deliveries for the Crooked Man via the butcher and his shop, The Cut Above. He said that he really needed the money and that he never expected things to get this bad. With all this new information gathered, it's time for Bigby to head out, but not before Beauty and Beast ask one more favor of him.
Wait, I don't know what you're planning to do when you find the Crooked Man, but is there any way you could help us out?
What do you mean?
Well, maybe you can make this all just go away.
We would really appreciate it. What do you say?
Can you help us out?
Bigby arrives at the Cut Above and he heads inside. He notices that there's no customers and that the meat looks kind of old, almost as if no one really buys here. Johann the butcher comes out to greet him and Bigby begins to pressure him with questions of what's actually going on. The sheriff says that he is going to the back to have a look around. Here Johann panics and discreetly presses a panic button on his table. He runs to the back and the sheriff follows him. He finds Johann trying to hide evidence. Bigby questions him on this and the butcher reveals that Mary and the Crooked Man's goons took over the place a long time ago and they use him and his shop as a way to make deliveries. He knows nothing else besides this. Johann says that they threatened his life and he had no other options. Bigby tries to be understanding and he heads inside of a storage room and finds ingredients for glamour, debts, addresses, and shackles. All of Fabletown seem to have some sort of dealings with the Crooked Man, and they use this storage room to make their illegal glamours. He also notices that he uses Fables to do the heavy lifting or the heavy work. He enslaves them. Johan swears that he didn't know anything about this. Bigby now knows where the glamours come from, and he needs to head over to the Lucky Inn Pawn now. But Johan has something on his mind.
Hold on. Well, I'm real happy you found what you're looking for, Bigby. But what about me? Huh? Do you really think this is gonna be all right? Of all this stuff in here, I do know one thing. That's his icon, his symbol. What kind of a guy uses a torture device as his icon? The kind of guy who isn't gonna be understanding about Bigby Wolf showing himself in. So tell me this, what the hell am I supposed to do now? I'm gonna have to spend the rest of my short life looking over my shoulder for Bloody Mary.
Report to the business office. Tell Snow I sent you there, and we'll figure something out. Some kind of protection.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheriff.
When Bigby arrives at the Lucky Pawn, he finds Jersey, the owner, the woodsman, and Jack inside arguing. Jack makes a run for it once he sees the sheriff, and the woodsman begins to argue heavily with Jersey over his axe. Bigby tries to intervene.
Back it up, Jersey. You're dealing with me now.
You got here fast. Still looking for whoever killed them hookers? Or are you done chasing your tail? That's it?
Back off, dog. I just want what's mine. My axe.
You talk big, but I don't think you got the stones to back it up. Still a little sore, are we? Why should Mary get all the fun? You ain't so tough. This ain't gonna go... Motherfucker!
What the hell are you doing? This is my fucking fight. Not now, dog. You got a lot of nerve.
Protected your friend. Too bad you couldn't protect those whores. Go on, try to stop me.
Fucking stay down. There she is. Hey, assholes. I found her.
After Jersey is down, Bigby begins to question him on the whereabouts of the missing mirror shard. He believes that Bloody Mary brought it to the Lucky Pawn, and Jersey doesn't answer. Bigby asks about the Crooked Man's location, and Jersey says that the door to his place moves all the time. It is never in one single spot for too long, and that he'll never find it. Bigby pressures Jersey some more, and he reveals where Crane's things are. Bigby finds some money and the missing shard in Crane's coat.
Hey, Sheriff. Those girls are still dead. Oh, and there's nothing you can do to bring them back. And I don't know what they did, but I do know this.
Just shut the fuck up, will ya?
The wolf and the woodsman have a smoke and reminisce a little. Then they go their separate ways in what feels like a goodbye.
Hey, Woody.
Yeah?
I'll see you around, all right?
Yeah. I'll see ya.
Bigby heads back to the Fabletown business office to inform Snow on what he found and fix the mirror, but he finds Toad and Bluebeard arguing with Snow. Snow wants Bigby to tell Toad to go to the farm if he cannot buy glamour. However, Bigby thinks he can be sneaky by giving Toad the money that he took from Crane's coat, and he tells Toad to get glamour as soon as possible. After this, Buffkin informs Snow and Bigby that the mirror is finally fixed. They head over to finally get some answers. They find out that the door to the Crooked Man's place is currently in Central Park, under the bridge. Bigby will head over there now, but before he does, Snow has a request.
Bigby, wait. When you get the Crooked Man, make sure you bring him back alive. He has to stand trial. This can't be like it was with Tweedledum. I don't care if it gets out of hand. You don't let it come to that. I know that emotions can run high, and you have your reasons to handle this a certain way.
I'll catch him and bring him back here, alive. Then we can clean him and cook him together.
Good. I have enough to worry about here while I prepare the case against him. So I'm going to trust you to handle this properly. That is, if you think you're ready.
Of course I'm ready. I got no other choice.
With this in mind, Bigby heads to Central Park. Upon entering through the door, Bigby is taken to a different place and he is greeted by Tiny Tim, who works for the Crooked Man, as some sort of doorman. Bigby tries to warn Tim about how dangerous the Crooked Man actually is, but Tim defends him. Much to Bigby's dislike, they finally make it to the door. And after all this time, Bigby Wolf, the sheriff of Fabletown, is coming face to face with the man who thinks he can control everyone, the Crooked Man.
You've come a long way. You must be tired. And if my envoys are correct, you haven't had a lot of rest recently. Please, Sheriff, relax for a moment, will you? Do you want a drink? Something to eat? It's lobster, sirloin.
Don't misunderstand the situation here. We are not friends, and you're in no position to offer me anything.
On the contrary, Sheriff. And I don't wish to contradict you here, but your initiative and mine have been friendly for a long while now. Ever since I came aboard these shores. You know, Fabletown's been very accommodating of my humble ventures.
Yeah? Well, you can forget all that. It's over with.
What do you think you're doing?
He's gonna...
Mr. Wolf is our guest, and I have every intention of cooperating. So don't waste the silver. Sit down, Jersey. Well, Sheriff, for the sake of transparency, why don't you tell us why you're here?
You're destroying this town. You've been doing it for ages.
Destroying this town? What on earth do you mean?
What the hell do you think I mean? Slavery? Kidnapping? Extortion? Murder? What would you call the wholesale corruption of Fabletown?
I would call it the baseless accusation of a desperate sheriff. How are you certain this isn't some conspiracy against me? I'm a well-connected man, well-moneyed. People do like to take their shots at me.
You're right that there's a conspiracy, but you're the one behind it.
I have no need for treachery, Bigby. I do everything right out in the open. But I can understand the confusion, and I am truly sorry about the trouble all this has caused you. And I hope you believe me when I say, Sheriff, that I sincerely mean to make it up to you. The recent murders that have gotten such attention as of late, I don't relish telling you that they were perpetrated by an employee of mine. It's a very unfortunate bit of business, but I promise you that the matter will be dealt with internally. I just want to settle the issue for you, and to assure you that it's over with. You really don't need to worry yourself further.
I already know who did it.
Forgive me, Sheriff, for doubting your acumen, but who do you think committed these crimes? It's been a long couple of days for you.
It was Georgie, all right?
Well done, Sheriff. I'm sorry I doubted you. However, like I said, I'll be handling the matter if you don't mind.
Yeah, I killed him, so what? You should have just kept your nose where it fucking belonged.
Georgie.
Look, the fact is, George here misinterpreted one of my instructions.
Misinterpreted?
And I want to make things right. So, let's work something out.
What's there to work out? I'm protected, aren't I?
Your protection has limits, and I think you've far exceeded yours. That you could murder someone in cold blood like that.
You fucking asked me to do this!
And then
you told me
attempt to
kill
blame
him.
me for it. You will be silent while we discuss what to do with you.
This is right bollocks, this! You're just gonna let him do this?
So what do you say, Sheriff? Can we discuss terms? You can have Georgie. Consider it a gift, ensuring our continued cooperation.
What the hell?
Take this fucker. Take all of them. I didn't fuck...
No deals. It's over, so get up.
I'd advise against that approach, Bigby.
You can't just hand me over! What the fuck is this shit? You said you'd cover for us!
For minor infractions, not murder.
Just go with him, Georgie. You're gonna sink us all.
What's wrong with you people? You're really gonna sell him out just like
You
that?
think I give a fuck if I'm the one... Who the shit do you think you fuckers
surrender.
are?
Get the fuck out of here!
I do apologize, Sheriff, but I think it's best if you leave now.
There's no way I'm going with him! Are you kidding me?
Things are about to get unpleasant, and I would rather you weren't here to watch.
You can go join that whore at the bottom of the lake for all I give a shit. But he's not taking me anywhere.
The sheriff has heard enough. He is done listening to the Crooked Man, so he decides it's time to take him in. However, the Crooked Man's true colors finally begin to show. He calls over his top goon, Bloody Mary, and a distracted Bigby gets attacked by Jersey, Tweedle, and Georgie. While Mary takes the Crooked Man to safety, Bigby tries to defend himself from the attacks as they are all coming to kill him. Tweedle is injured during the fight, and Georgie is stabbed in the gut, while Jersey gets knocked out again by the sheriff. Georgie makes an escape with Vivian through the Crooked Man's portal, and Bigby decides to follow them.
What was that? Take him off!
I can't!
done it.
Are you sure?
Do it.
He's not moving.
Keep going.
Come on.
Right. Fuck it.
Bigby arrives at the Pudding and Pie and he heads in to find Georgie and Vivian arguing about their next move. The sheriff begins to question Georgie on everything that was said at the Crooked Man's lair and wants to bring him in for a trial. But Georgie insisted that he was only following orders from the Crooked Man. He alluded to the fact that he was the one that would get dealt with if he didn't make an example out of Faith and Lily. Georgie tries to excuse his actions by hiding behind the fact that he was only following orders, but then Bigby replies angrily that nobody forced him to do anything and that he was the one who killed him, so he does bear some responsibility. However, after this, Georgie reveals that Vivian has been a lot more involved than she is let on.
This is the original. The girl with the ribbon. I'm sure you've heard the stories. Couldn't take it off, couldn't talk about it. She used her little purple ribbon to make more of them. To keep our girls quiet. To ensure absolute discretion.
You promised you wouldn't.
All that magic is connected to this little thing. You remove hers, and the spell's broken. They're all free. But you know what happens to her? The same thing that happened to Faith. So don't you come in here and tell me I fucked up.
What the hell, Georgie? We were supposed to look out for each other. I trusted you!
You can't fucking blame me. You're not innocent here either.
Wait, those were your ribbons? You're in on this? I thought you cared about them.
I do. Of course I do. You have to understand, nobody was supposed to die. When we built this place, it was just a stupid idea. A gimmick. Discretion is our guarantee. That's how it started anyway. This was supposed to be our place. We were gonna be in charge for once, and nobody would try to control us or use us. That was the point. Then the Crooked Man showed up and everything just turned to shit.
So, do you get it now? Why I couldn't just... If you still think it's so fucking simple, then you do it. Go right ahead. Kill her then.
What are you doing?
Break the spell. Save the fucking day!
We'll find another way. She doesn't have to die. Maybe the witches
Don't talk
can...
about me like I'm not even here. Please. You think this is hard for you? My life is such a fucking burden on your conscience. Don't I get a say? It's my life. Like it was either of yours to give up in the first place.
You're right. It's your life.
I know what I've done.
Wait.
I'm sick of everyone thinking that they can just do what they want with my life. I thought it would be different here. But it's all the fucking same.
Vivian, I didn't mean...
Do you think I wanted to be this person? What I did to Faith and Lily? To all of them?
Vivian, wait.
Every day I have to look Gwen and Hans in the eye and pretend I don't care. I have to forget what I've done to them. What I took away from them. I look at Nerissa and I hate myself.
Vivian!
I can't pretend anymore.
What are you doing?
Vivian, don't! Vivian! No! Fuck! No, 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 no!
A distraught Georgie falls to the ground. He regrets what he said to Vivian, but Bigby still needs to take him in. However, Georgie's insides are spilling out. He will bleed out before they ever make it back to the woodlands. Georgie asks the sheriff to give the Crooked Man the same treatment that he received, and he gives Bigby the location of a secret warehouse the Crooked Man operates from, and he believes that he should find him there. With this, the Big Bad Wolf and Georgie Porgy say their final goodbye.
You want to finish me off now? Or do you plan to kick me around a little first? Rip my limbs off one by one? That's what you want to do, right?
That's not who I am.
Sure it's not. No more games, all right. We both know how this ends. Just make it quick. What? You're just gonna leave me here?
I'll send someone for your body. Both of you.
Fuck you! Piece of shit.
Bigby Wolf arrives at the Shepherd Metalworks warehouse where he goes inside to investigate. Here, Bigby finds many pictures of himself, Snow White, and other fables that the Crooked Man and Bloody Mary were having a closer look at. It seems like they have been following the sheriff since the beginning of the investigation. He begins to hear the voice of Bloody Mary taunting him. He follows the voice inside of a room where Mary has been waiting for him. We see the Crooked Man show up. He is there to see Bigby off, as he has now unleashed Bloody Mary on the sheriff.
Get out of my way now. Don't make this worse.
Aw, he doesn't want to play.
I'm sure you'll persuade him.
Wow, what a man. Stealing punches while my back is turned? Didn't your mother ever teach you to fight proper?
Where are you? Come out and face me!
After defeating Bloody Mary once and for all, the sheriff heads to the Crooked Man's office, where he plans to take him to Snow White and hold a trial like she asked. But the Crooked Man begins to taunt Bigby. He has a gun pointed at the sheriff with a silver bullet. He wants to make sure that the sheriff doesn't take justice into his own hands and kills him, but it feels like the Crooked Man is trying to goad the sheriff into hurting him, so that Fabletown can turn on the sheriff and Snow White. However, Bigby is calm and reserved. He knows the Crooked Man will get what he deserves. Bigby takes the gun from the Crooked Man and takes him to the woodlands to stand trial.
You did well, Sheriff. I'm surprised. Not that you did well, but that, you know... I'm just glad you made it back in one piece.
It's about time you showed up. Now throw this asshole down the fucking well.
Yes, what are you waiting for?
You killed Lily!
She was my sister!
How could you?
What do you have to say for
Where
yourself?
the fuck do you get off?
Poor
You
girls.
think you have the right
And
to
what
just
about
do this
Faith?
to
What could
people?
they have
You're a
done to
fucking
deserve
crook!
This? You should be ashamed.
Shithole.
Everyone, can I have your attention? Thank you all for coming here on such short notice. I know normally we'd schedule a formal hearing, but considering the circumstances, I thought it best if we do this as soon as possible. The Crooked Man is charged with the murder of
As I
Faith
already
and...
informed your sheriff, it was Mr. Georgie Porgy who killed those women, not me.
What? It was Georgie?
Georgie?
I don't mean to interrupt you, Miss White.
Georgie may have killed them, but you made the call.
Do I have to explain the situation to you again?
Wait a minute. So you're saying Georgie's the motherfucker who killed my sister? Well, where is he?
Yeah, you're gonna bring that shithead in too, aren't you?
Yes, Sheriff. Where is that rotten scoundrel now?
Is he still out there?
I sincerely hope not. Well, where is he?
Sheriff?
Georgie paid for what he did. In the end, there was a fight, and he bled out from his wounds. It's over.
So he's dead? That's what you're saying?
I can't believe it was him.
So you see, the culprit has been punished. There's no
That
need
doesn't
for
change
this.
anything. We'll deal with it later, but right now, you're the one I'm concerned with.
You called the shots. Georgie made that perfectly clear.
In which case, you still have a lot to answer for.
I
And
was
I
told
don't...
I would be allowed to speak.
We have to read the rest of the charges.
What other charges?
Let her finish. Then you can have your say.
Got it?
If you insist.
You are charged with the murder of Faith and Lily, which Georgie carried out on your order, inciting violence against various members of the Fabletown community, including the attempted murder of Sheriff Bigby Wolf.
Twice.
A misunderstanding.
Aiding and providing monetary support for the forced prostitution at the Pudding and Pie. Additionally, you are charged with multiple counts of fraud, extortion, racketeering, and the illegal possession and sale of magical artifacts. Now, is there anything you would like to say?
First of all, I had nothing to do with Faith and Lily, so you can strike that one from your little record book.
Bullshit!
The Crooked Man has committed crimes against this government and, most importantly, its citizens. These charges, if proven, are enough to justify death, upon which your body will be committed to the witching
Where it
well.
fucking belongs!
That's
So
right.
let's get
But
on
we
with it
promised
then.
you a chance to defend yourself, and I won't rob you of that right.
What the
You're
fuck?
really going
This
to let
is
him
about
talk?
justice. If we're ever going to pull ourselves together and make something of this town, we have to start doing things correctly. No more snap judgments, no more secrets. We are going to treat everyone fairly, even when they don't deserve it.
This is ridiculous.
You have the floor.
Thank you, Miss White. You've all met Georgie. I don't have to tell you what kind of person he was. He was a total scoundrel, lacking in any sort of moral fiber. I hired him as a favor to his family, you see. A promise kept to a dying mother.
Oh,
Are you gonna
jeez.
get to your point or what?
Georgie was working for me, yes. But he was not acting on my behalf when he killed those women. It was his business. And for whatever reason, I'm sure only he could understand, he murdered 2 of his most faithful employees. I had nothing to do with it.
Tell
This
the
is such
fucking
bullshit.
truth for
He's
once.
always been a bit of a powder keg.
Georgie seemed pretty convinced he didn't have a say in the matter.
He clearly misunderstood my intention.
Really?
I would never authorize such an act.
Any of you actually believe this bullshit?
Holly, please.
Tell them, Bigby. When you finally showed up at my door last night, wasn't I more than helpful? I answered your questions. I was willing to cooperate.
Yeah, and your goons attacked me. Did you forget that part?
They get a bit carried away sometimes, it's true. Loyal to the end. They do it because they want to protect me, as I've protected them. You understand wanting to protect what you care about, don't you? You'd do anything.
Yeah, right. They don't do it because they want to protect you. You intimidate people, use scare tactics. They're afraid if they don't follow orders, they'll end up dead.
With nowhere else to turn, she came to me for help. And what did I do for you?
You got my tree back.
I got her tree back, and in turn we used her magic to help poor Fables get glamours. Because I helped her, she was able to make a living, provide for herself. And what did they do?
They burned my tree to ashes.
What? You burned it down?
You see?
Why would you do that?
There's more to this than they're saying, okay? It was necessary to keep this town safe. Greenleaf was using her magic to help Crane and the Crooked Man.
What choice did I have?
It wasn't her fault.
You can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to me. You hated Crane, and you hated him for wanting to fuck you, and you being too soft to notice what he'd do to get it. It had nothing to do with the Crooked Man.
We've made some mistakes. I've made some mistakes. But believe me, I truly want what's best for this town. And that may not always be clear right away. But I want you all to know that I care deeply about all of you. And so does the sheriff.
Yeah, right.
I can't promise you perfection. No one can. But I can promise to always have your best interests at heart.
Things haven't been great for a while now, but we'll do better at protecting you. From people like him.
The Crooked Man's been exploiting you.
Do you really think the Crooked Man cared about you? He just cared about your money. He cares about your obedience.
They're right.
You're all still afraid of him, even now. But you needn't be. His contamination of this town is over, and those girls will have their justice.
It seems like Fabletown has taken the side of Snow and Bigby. However, the Crooked Man is cunning and won't go down without a fight.
The sheriff simply doesn't have a particle of evidence linking me to the...
Georgie was working for you. Bigby got a confession.
A confession that nobody heard. Now, I'm no barrister, but I think such a statement would carry more weight if Bigby weren't the only one to whom Georgie spoke. Especially given Bigby's history.
You won't be able to talk your way out of this, Crooked Man.
What do you mean there's no evidence?
Maybe he's... I mean, this doesn't feel right, how we're doing this. I just
Of course it's right. This man tormented all of you, for profit! Georgie
Let me
killed
just
them.
make sure I understand you. You're trying to say that I'm responsible for what Georgie did, because he was working for me at the time, yes?
Yes, you're responsible.
Well, by that logic, Miss White should be on trial for Tweedledum's murder. Since you know Bigby works for her.
Fuck's sake, killing someone who's trying to kill you is
They
hardly...
were there to retrieve Crane. You didn't need to escalate things.
Me? It was them. And who sent those two freaks anyway?
Bigby and I have already discussed his behavior that night. We're handling it internally.
Now, where have I heard that before?
As Snow and Bigby begin to lose the crowd, Nerissa comes running in. No longer held by the spell, my lips are sealed. She is freed to say whatever she wants.
I'm sorry, I don't think I know
Nerissa!
you.
My name is Nerissa.
It's okay, my dear. It's going to be just...
He ordered them dead. This fucker. Faith and Lily.
That's a lie.
I was in the goddamn room when he did it. Faith and Lily are dead because of you. The only two people who ever gave a damn about me.
And this just confirms it.
He made Georgie do it. It was always him. Georgie would have never done anything without his say-so. Ever.
You're going to take the word of a stupid...
At least 5 other girls will back me up on this. We all heard you say it.
Did you now?
Looks like we found our evidence.
She saw it firsthand.
He's guilty.
Good enough for me.
Me too.
So that's it, right?
Calm down the witching well.
No, that's too fucking easy for a crook like that.
What do you mean?
He's gotta pay for what he did.
Listen to yourselves!
You're all rats, fleeing from one sinking ship to the next. So quick to latch onto whatever will keep your miserable lives afloat. This is how you want to repay all I've done for you?
You're done talking, Crooked Man. You had your chance.
Well done, then.
Now, for your sentence.
We don't have to become murderers.
What are you talking about?
He's guilty. I know that, but we don't have to kill anybody. We can imprison him. Lock him up forever, somewhere he can never hurt anyone again.
How can we be sure he won't escape?
I can help. We'll use magic.
That's not good enough.
There will be more if he isn't
Hasn't
stopped.
there been enough
I don't care.
bloodshed
So we get rid of him.
Dangerous.
Get him out of here.
We can send him
Everyone,
away.
listen up! Clearly, we're having trouble agreeing on a suitable punishment, so I think
This is going nowhere.
You should have a vote. Make it democratic.
Do you really think that's going to work?
He's right. Nobody can agree on anything.
What about Bigby?
What about him?
He was appointed. He's the only official representative, really. He should be the judge.
That makes sense to me.
I guess it does.
Okay.
Fine. Are you sure? This isn't how
It's what the people want, Miss White.
Okay, Mr. Wolf, it's your call.
Snow.
Just do what you think is right.
Yes, Sheriff. Do what you think is right.
Teach him a fucking lesson.
Everyone, I'm...
Not this way.
There you are. I hope you all remember this moment. Think of me when you try to sleep.
Finish it, Sheriff.
You're going to miss me.
No, I won't.
And with this, the curse of the Crooked Man is lifted from Fabletown, and a new era is dawning. One with Snow White in charge and Bigby by her side. Or so it seems. A day later, Bigby is riding the elevator to meet with Snow. However, he comes across a familiar sight. There's a huge line outside of the Fabletown office, and Snow White comes running out looking overwhelmed. She gives Bigby a task and goes back inside of the office. Bluebeard cuts to the front of the line and goes to speak with the new mayor. It seems like maybe things haven't changed as much as we thought. Bigby heads downstairs to say goodbye to some friends.
Morning, Sheriff. Nice fucking day. Just go grab that, would you?
Sorry about all this. I tried to help.
Just why the hell did she have to send me and me boy away, huh? You promised me I'll get another chance, but Miss White said I had to go up to the damn farm anyway. I told her I had the money, but she didn't want to hear it.
Wait! Sheriff Bigby! I have something.
You know, he was up crying all night, poor kid.
Can you give this to Miss White, please? Dad says there's no time to say goodbye.
Sure.
I couldn't take them all with me, and she said she liked that one the best. It's a willow beetle. That's a big one. They're cool, 'cause when they're little, they have these pouches that squirt juice at you if you touch them.
I'm sure she'll love it.
She said it was pretty.
We're about ready to head out.
What's it like at the farm? I've heard ogres live there, and they eat people in their sleep sometimes.
God, I hope not.
Do we have to go? I want to stay here.
Well, we don't have a choice anymore.
Don't worry. You'll be a lot safer there. There's plenty of space to run around, and a nice river nearby so you can swim all you want.
Even in daytime?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the Mundies seeing you. It'll be nice. Come on. It won't be so bad.
Have you been there before?
No. Some of the animals aren't comfortable around wolves.
So you wouldn't know, would you?
We're all set.
Bye, Mr. Wolf.
Goodbye, TJ.
Hey, Bigby! Where's your friend, Colin?
How should I know?
After this, the sheriff notices Nerissa across the road, and he decides to approach her.
Listen, I came here because I have to tell you something.
What is it?
It's about what happened to Faith and Lily. I'm not sure where to start. Faith, Lily, and I, we had this plan. We were gonna find a way out. Leave the pudding and pie for good. But then Faith decided to get some leverage. She stole a picture of Crane and Lily together. The minute Faith stole that photo, we had dirt on one of the Crooked Man's allies. If he found out, I had no choice. You have to understand. You've seen how they kept us quiet in that place. Can you imagine the lengths they'd go just to silence someone who had physical evidence?
Nerissa, just tell me what happened.
I freaked out, okay? I thought if I came clean to Georgie, he'd get the Crooked Man to leave us alone. We could just forget the whole thing. Maybe try again in a few years.
You what?
So I told him everything. And I begged for mercy for all of us. I didn't want anyone to die over a picture.
You were just trying to protect them.
Yeah. Georgie promised he'd smooth things over with the Crooked Man. I don't know what happened, but that night at the club, Georgie came back and told me things had changed. He had to make an example of us. We had committed treason. And while the two of us were sitting there, as he was telling me this, Faith walked in, and I had to watch while Georgie...
Wait, so Georgie told you all this? Not the Crooked Man? Back at the well, you said...
I know what I said.
But it wasn't the truth, was it?
What does it matter? I know the Crooked Man did it. So what if it wasn't the whole truth? It was true enough.
I guess it worked out in the end. I can't hold that against you.
I know he ordered their deaths. I wasn't gonna let him get away with it because of a stupid technicality. Especially after... that night, after Faith. I tried to warn Lily, but she wasn't with her scheduled appointment. So I did the only thing I could do. I left Faith's head at your doorstep.
You?
I walked her over here, and I left her.
So, that piece of fabric I found near there, that was you?
Yeah, I cut my leg trying to get over the fence.
So you started all this?
I just pointed you in the right direction. People like us get forgotten all the time. The Crooked Man was counting on that. When we suffer, we do it in silence. And the world likes it that way. We just fade, like we never existed. I couldn't watch that happen to Faith or Lily. Nobody cares about us. Not really.
I'm sorry, Nerissa. I'm sorry that's what it took to get me to pay attention.
It'll be different now. You'll make things right. You and Snow.
I don't know. Seems like no matter what I do, it's just not enough for her, or anyone. I just can't win with these people.
I know it might feel that way, but they need you, Bigby. Both of you. You two make a good team. The way you look out for each other, and look out for us. You don't see that a lot these days.
I don't really know where we stand anymore. Things are just different.
Huh. Things are always different. Look, Bigby. After everything you've done for us, maybe they don't want to admit it, but without you, none of this would have happened. You listened when no one else would. You protected your friends, no matter the cost. And you brought justice to this town. Finally. Because you brought the Crooked Man in, everyone saw who he really was. So from where I'm standing, you did the right thing. You've been given this job for a reason. And I left Faith at your doorstep because I knew if anyone stood a chance against the Crooked Man, it was you. You've changed this place. For better or worse, Fabletown wouldn't be the same without you. You're not as bad as everyone says you are.
I need to tell you something.
I have to tell you something.
I feel like we've met before.
You're trying to place me. You like my ribbon? Do you like it?
Faith wore one too.
Would hide her beauty so she could escape his kingdom.
They used to call me the Little
Did
Mermaid.
Dr. Swinehart ever get back to you about Faith?
He said he wanted to run more tests. I hope you find what you're looking for.
In the end, it seems like Faith, the woman Bigby met the night where it all began, was behind everything. She set off a chain of events that changed Fabletown forever. And in the end, it may have never been Nerissa who the sheriff was speaking to. It seems almost certain that it was Faith all along. Faith glamored as Nerissa. With this, we conclude the story of The Wolf Among Us. This is one of those games that is generational, and in my opinion, it is Telltale's best game by a very big margin. It is a beautiful story that can stand on its own, and I can play it endlessly. I'm very happy that I was able to bring you a story so far to try and summarize the story for you, and to have a better understanding of it now, so we can better prepare ourselves for the very much anticipated sequel, The Wolf Among Us 2. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in our next story so far episode.
I'll see you around, Wolf.